sufficient enough that we can get it's going to be sufficient enough that yeah, it boosts our early season silage yields, because we've got this field, we've got the other field, and then we'll have the maize field, and then once we've done with the maize, we can or once we get there, we can plant maize, and that will be our winter silage crop from that field again. And this year, obviously it's year one, so this year is a trial to see if that actually holds out. It might not. Problem is I don't have a what you call it, any logging equipment, but I would like to deal with some of the trees here because they're a little bit in the way. The thing is, I would probably do best to chip them, because they're not the greatest for creating lumber. Okay, so quick round down here, that's done. I think I want to do another headland at this end and another one at the other end. And old dude is stuck here. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? Now, I'm not sure if that's because that hedge is just too close, or if it's a combination of just being too close to the corner. But we'll try that. Oops. And we want to go forwards to go backwards. And backwards to go forwards. Yeah, that's the only difficulty with driving the Valtra in this mode is I'm driving in reverse, so I have to select reverse to drive in this general direction. But the steering is reversed. So I want to turn left because of the way I'm facing. If I turn the wheel round, I would actually be facing I would actually be steering right. So the steering's quite handy because it does mirror where I want to go and what I want to do in this direction. It's just that the gearbox, not so much. Okay, I'm going to do the bottom of this field just because. Oops, and back to reverse again. Wheels turned too much. Mower. So I'm liking this mowing kit. It's not huge. It's not the biggest, but it's definitely got a good good working width. It's 180 horsepower, so it's not as bad as running the butterfly mowers and stuff like that. It doesn't row. But that does mean we can do hay. Yeah, it's a good setup for hay. Okay, now there was something else I wanted to check today. Did we check the store sales? I can't remember. It doesn't matter when we do that. We can check it later if need be. Kubota still has an hour left to run. Oops. But this is actually the first time I've used this mower. Probably the first time I've seen anybody using it properly. I know a lot of people will either mount it on the front. Well, that's you know, the turn signals and the fact that those are rear lights kind of indicates that this is supposed to be mounted on the rear. But as I said, some people will switch it onto the front so they can mow the way the mower is designed to run, and many others just leave it on the back and drag it behind them. Now if you look at it, it's designed to swath the grass to either side of the wheels so that you're not driving over the cut grass. You could, you could bring a baler here and do that, but I'm not sure it works out too well. And on this tractor, it actually works better if you do alternate rows. Maybe I should have thought about that. When I drove all the way back down to the bottom of the fields to start. So, dull overcast day according to the weather. So it's not going to be a nice sunny day. Doesn't matter because we're not making hay. And typically probably wouldn't. I think if you wanted to make hay, you want to make hay in the summer. That doesn't look good. Yeah, he's having issues here. Like I said, I probably should have done 2 headlands, and I didn't. Yeah. Let's clear the course. Let's bump it up to 3 headlands. Do the center first. Generate. Now, I should let's turn on the blue one. Oh, actually, you know what I was going to do was back it up to here. I don't know if that bit got done, but we will do that manually. Okay, if I turn around here, hopefully this lines up the direction I wanted to be going. Yes. So if I start around about there, it will go that way. It will leave a gap at each end, but it won't then keep getting blocked. And off he goes. That is looking fine. We still have a lot of diesel. Oh, it's looking somewhat fine. Might need to go fill in the gaps, we don't know. But still, it's now going between ends that aren't going to get interfered with by the hedge. And then it will do the remaining, yeah, it'll do the 3 headlands again. But that doesn't matter. It's now, we've bumped it back up to 1 hour 13 minutes because of headlands. But we can live with that. Let's turn off all the arrows and leave him running. He's doing 5 miles an hour, which is probably the speed of that device. We can get back in the tractor. I probably should have done that way earlier so that we could have not had all the hassle with it near the trees. It's a little bit missed there. We'll go back for that. Oops. So the grass field on the other side of this yard, I'm thinking it's probably supposed to be an animal shelter thing. So I may eventually build a cow pasture there of some description, or a cow shed. Right now we can't afford it, but we are making approximately £100,000 for each harvest. Obviously delayed because we got to wait at least 1 month for the silage to ferment. But 100,000 per mow, that's 3 a year, and probably get about 125,000 from the corn. Probably need to fold that up to get into the other field. And of course, because even with the reverse steering, we are limited to half speed or less. I think it's a 1/3 speed when you're in reverse. Making it to the next field is a little bit slower in this configuration. But I don't think I really need to turn the wheel round or turn the seat round and then turn it back again. We'll get all the mowing done and then worry about the thing. Okay, drop that there. And that looks meh. I may shuffle slightly inwards. Okay, that looks good. Let's reset. Heading 0. Drive a bit, lower the mower, turn it on, and off we go. So I'm thinking I probably want to ted that piece of fresh grass that I cut, although we did have an issue with that last time I tried to do it, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work out. Oh, that was a thing. So the other thing that happened this week is that dynamic field prices got yet another patch. Now we know it is seriously messing up the game save on this map, And I did hear reports that it also wasn't playing nice with Court Farm either. So I don't know if I want to chance it again. However, wow, we're doing 12 miles an hour in reverse on this. And obviously this tractor does 14 miles an hour, 13 miles an hour, 14 miles an hour maximum. So we're getting quite a decent speed on this mower. I'm not complaining. So, what was I talking about? Oh, I was going to look at what's... Oh, there's lots of new things here. There's one of those, that would be nice. There's one of those, that would be nice. Rostel Mash header. Oh, what's that? That is a Kern Cedar. Don't need that. There's one of those, there's one of those. There's a Roland bale trailer. That's as far as we got. And there's a thing to carry wood in. That Roland bale trailer would be nice if we decided to do baling contracts, because the way I would do a baling contract is get one of the baler wrappers, possibly the Massey Ferguson or Fendt ones that were newly released. Oh, good grief. I think it was around the time that the Kubota pack was released. They're only capable of making 125 and 150 centimetre bales, but they can wrap both. Some of the other balers that can wrap 150 centimetre bales can make 180 centimetre bales, but they can't wrap them. So you can mess up by having them set to large because you were doing hay, and then forgetting and not wrapping the first bale that you create. Now, I did notice that one of the other options that is now available with Maize Plus is that you can run the Govil stationary balers. And the expensive one does do 150 centimetre bales. And they will ferment immediately if you're doing a contract. Okay, back to there. I was actually wanting to look here and here. This mower has a maximum speed of 13 miles an hour. Now you compare that with the others, I don't think they're as fast. We'll check that in a minute. Alright, round once. So if I look at other mowers, yeah, something like that. Oh no, that is 13 miles an hour. So mowers are 13 miles an hour. It's when you get into self-propelled machinery, which I can't justify having at the moment. Obviously that's walking, that's 15 miles an hour, that's 4 miles an hour. But yeah, same with balers. Normally a baler is 7, 10 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. But when you go to self-propelled balers, which are somewhere, is the self-propelled baler in the miscellaneous? No. Mowers, crop protection, animals. Where is the self-propelled baler? Oh, I didn't load the Vermeer pack on this. There you go. We'll never find out. But yeah, the self-propelled baler will run faster than a regular baler. Yeah, behind a tractor baler. I think the self-propelled slurry tankers will apply faster than a tow-behind slurry tanker. And that's where the benefit lies. You know, obviously at this stage where I can't justify having an engine on a slurry tanker. I can't even justify having a slurry tanker right this minute. But, you know, the argument remains. I would prefer to have a slurry tank with a tractor hauling it because I can use the tractor on multiple things, and I don't have money to waste on motorized equipment at this point. However, when the farm's up and established and we're buying thousands of acres every year, all of a sudden it does become worth it, because a self-propelled slurry tank will do work a lot faster. Sprayers the same. I think spreaders to a certain extent. I don't know how many granular spreaders we have. But I can't afford to spend $250,000 on a sprayer that can only do spraying. When it comes to harvesting, you don't really have a choice. You can do 250,000. We're actually getting a lower yield this time. Excuse me a minute. The pH is bad. Nitrogen is good. The nitrogen is perfect. Actually, the nitrogen is over perfect. The pH is bad. So the pH was probably okay when we did the first cut. The nitrogen was way too high on our first cut, which is why I haven't had to fertilize this field, I don't think. We had to fertilize the corn, but the drop in silage, oh, by the way, we're backing up. See, there we have it. I'm thinking backwards because I'm remembering whether I want to be in drive or reverse, but then I'm steering backwards, and no, you steer normal when you're doing this. I think a nice thing about this mower is that it doesn't, yeah, because it's a continuous width, it doesn't mess up the corners. You'll get, you won't get gaps like you do with a butterfly mower. All right, we're off. Let's get this field finished. So once this is mowed, I don't know, we still have at least an hour of subsoiling that field over there. And I'll probably have to fill in the gaps. That's fine. But I can't plant it until this tractor's freed up because I don't have enough big tractors to do big jobs. And I am kind of regretting the Kubota. It's a little bit underpowered for what we need as a second tractor. But it is what it is, so for right now I just have to live with it. We might get lucky and get 150 to 180 horsepower tractor coming up in store sales, that we can actually afford, but we won't have the cash to do that until January. And I would like to buy more fields, because that's the way we can make more money quicker, and we've got all the equipment we need to be able to do that, which is kind of the story of our life on Farm Sim. You can either buy better equipment or you can buy more fields, but more fields is going to make you the money the fastest. Quickest. Quickest, fastest, probably quickest. I mean, the good news is at least the weather's holding off. There's no rain in the forecast, at least not immediately. Take it slow enough, it does generally behave itself. So I'm going to check the weather, because that's always a good thing to look at. Weather. Oh, we have weather overnight tonight, and then sun from midnight to 9 AM. I don't think we have sun. In fact, I'm surprised if we'll see much sun for the next 3 months. But it's going to be a good night. Well, it's going to be an okay night after midnight, which is fine. That means that the ground will be dry tomorrow morning for anything we don't finish right now. Look at contracts. I can't see right now. Yeah, I don't want to look at contracts because we're kind of at the point where we're using all of our tractors for jobs on our farm, and primarily that's where I would prefer to keep our tractors when needed. I'm not going to do contracts with other people equipment if I can avoid it.